Yeah, disappointing. We came here with a realism that it was we were up against a really good Munster side, obviously playing them away from home, and the opening of the ground was a big task for us and a big challenge. And you know, there's a frustration that we didn't control the controllables. Two sim innings as well, and Munster they put 35 points on the board during that period. And equally, part of the frustration is that you saw we caused them problems when we got our set piece right and when we went through 1-2 phases, particularly on the edge. And for me, there are definitely positives in some individual performances. I thought Luke Morgan was very good tonight, his first Pro14 game. Sam Cross I thought went really well. But the real evidence of the selection tonight will be what we do with this down the line and how we progress as players, with a number of young boys in our academy involved in the 23. And for us as a club, it's important that we're not two teams. You know, it's important we do manage our players. It's important that we do manage, like you do in Ireland, like we've done in Ireland, manage the players who are going to be on international duty, because you can't put them out week on week. If you do, you risk blowing out at the end of the season, or you risk reducing their career in terms of years. So we knew the risk. Having said that, physically we came through it. We're not dinged up, but from an execution and a game management perspective, that's going to be the greatest development for us as a group.
Yeah, some positives then to take home.
I thought our scrum went very well. Good pressure on the opposition and really solid on our own ball. You know, our phase play attack at times was good. And really for me, the fact that we didn't give up at the end would have been easy to roll over. We scrambled on our own goal line, and we saw out that last set and came out with a positive outcome. But overall, we're disappointed. I'm not going to say that we're not. Our effort, I thought, was excellent. Our execution let us down.
Can't play big names every week, but no regrets with your selection?
Well, we'll only know down the line. I think it's too early to say. I certainly, we're not judging these players on tonight's performance. We said beforehand we wouldn't allow the scoreboard to hijack us. We need to grow our depth, and the only way to grow your depth is through playing. And you know, that experience of coming to tough places like Munster, and now about showing the resolve to see if we can kick on, and when we come here again, and some individuals come here again, or we play together later in the season as a group when a lot of our frontliners are with Wales, that we deliver.
Big guns back for the coming matches?
Some of those boys will be available for selection, but there are game management protocols around them. Everyone knows it's World Cup year next year, and like in Ireland, Wales now are looking after those players quite rightly, and we as Ospreys, we want to look after them. We want to ensure that the Alan Wynns, the Justin Tippericks, the George North are playing at the Ospreys for another 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you're George North, even 6 seasons, you know, and doing that while at the same time bringing through a number of young players in that changing room who can well become players of that esteem.
Is this the hardest time of the year to do this album? Because during the international windows, everyone's in the same boat. This time of year, teams are probably going for, you know, be going strong at home and maybe weaker away, or you know, trying to balance it. Is this the hardest time to do it?
We've got our performance targets as a club, and you know, don't get me wrong, I didn't come here to throw a game. We didn't come here to throw a game. I didn't come here to concede 49 points, and nor did I expect to. But that's the reality of what happened tonight. I'm not going to persecute the players for that. It's on me, and it's on as head coach what I believe is best for the team, and it's about the season, and we've got to get enough wins throughout the season whilst managing our player group without having 2 squads within the squad, if you like. That's not what we're about. Tomorrow our A team are playing and then we're going to have a bit of an event together afterwards. So we want to come in and challenge for places. To do that, you got to give people opportunities, and the boys are disappointed. There's no denying that. But as I said, we're not going to get hijacked by the scoreboard. I'm not judging them on that. Our effort wasn't good enough. Sorry, our effort was excellent. Our execution wasn't good enough.
Just from what you've watched, you've been analysing Munster for years. Do you see anything different about what they're doing this season with their new personnel that they have? I know it's early.
It's early days, but I throw that back at you, and you look at the source of the tries tonight and where they came from. Munster are very good at building momentum, and you know, once they get into that 22, they're ruthless. We were last week. We had an 80% return last week. Tonight it wasn't to be for us, and you got to tip your hat to Munster. They fully deserve the win, as the scoreboard suggests.
Alan, just a question. I mean, why is there a particular reason why you kind of picked this squad for tonight's match as against what you picked for the last 2 weeks? Do you know, I know you have to game manage everything, you know, but
yeah, well, there's obviously around certain players there are a set number of games that they can play throughout the season, so you try to cherry pick those games. You look at Johnny Sexton. I think he's played one game outside of Ireland in our domestic league in the last number of years, and we've got players of that esteem. You look at Alan Wynne-Jones, who's, you know, he rolls up his sleeves every week if you ask him to, but you know, we want to ensure that when he performs, he's performed his absolute optimum and he's not feeling exhausted towards the back end of the season. So yeah, are we targeting certain games? Yeah, there's no doubt about that, but we're, you know, it won't always be in this regard. We've got to prepare for selections that will go towards Wales during the autumn internationals, and in doing that you're looking at the injury profile of the other three squads within Wales as well as our own, and trying to predict what the likelihood is of that selection. As a result of that, when we play Connacht and when we play Glasgow in those autumn international periods, we got to ensure that the boys going into those games have got some Pro 14 rugby behind them and they've played together as a group.